Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cosmic Howling Media, December 23, 2020. And welcome everybody to the Age of Aquarius. We've officially entered the Age of Aquarius on December 21, when the big conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, quite a profound historical event. Certainly go down in the history books. I guess we didn't really celebrate on the Earth's surface because we still got the cabal, the Earth's surface cabal to deal with. They're still, they're doing everything they can to try to maintain control here in the surface as they lose control and become more and more exposed all the time. So this, I'd just like to touch on the meditation we did, the mass meditation on December 21, right at the moment that Jupiter and Saturn's conjunction was happening. And that was 10:22 a.m. Pacific time. So of course that's 7:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in the Americas, and of course all at various times throughout the world. And so we reached critical mass, as already been reported by Cobra. We'll just go on to Cobra's side here a bit. Cobra shared a couple of things about this so far, and Cobra will have an expanded report on the effects of this recent meditation on December 21. But we certainly reached the critical mass plus. Critical mass usually takes 140 plus thousand at least meditating together to reach that. So we've reached, by indication from Cobra, certainly reached the critical mass, and we'll see how much more than 140 plus thousand we did. The more the better, of course. So it looks very good, very promising. That helped us go on to a very optimum timeline here that now that we're in Aquarius, and help more and more bring more light here and anchor light and purge more of the heavier density energies and the anomalies, the dark life forms and dark life forces, etc. around. It's an ongoing purging. So really pretty massive thing. I'm figuring we'll probably have a celebration for this once the event, the compression breakthrough does happen, and we, the light forces, have complete control of the surface, which looks like we're real close to that. We're definitely getting closer and closer as more and more progress is made at all levels. So here is a little bit from Cobra on what he shared on the, let's see here. Oh yeah, here it is here. Okay, here it is here. Cobra's site, the portal. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah. Now, right after the, very soon after the meditation on the 21st, Cobra posted this Monday, December 21, 2020. Not too long after, Cobra posted, as seen here, GR plus. And then he wrote primary interference sequence in progress. So GR plus, that definitely, then we knew right away, we reached critical mass plus. And then of course, a lot of times there's a lot of messages sent through this site that's intended for the resistance forces. And so a lot of it, we won't on the surface really be able to interpret or understand what they're actually saying. And of course, that's what it's meant to be. Although, we sort of, some of us kind of seem to get an idea, and maybe we can sort of discern it somewhat. But it's a great, this website has and is used to communicate things to especially the resistance forces in play. Now the resistance force is about half humans from the Earth here, and the other half are from another planet. I believe it's planet, sometimes we call it Planet X. It's definitely a planet that's out on the outer boundaries of this solar system that doesn't officially exist here. Like we say, there's 9 planets, and there's actually more than 9 planets in this solar system. So it's one of those planets that doesn't officially exist here, but they broke free from the Draconians and the dark forces not so long ago. And then, it was really cool. A lot of them decided, well, let's go help Earth. Let's go help liberate Earth. So that's really what generally what the resistance, when you hear the resistance force, society of the light forces, you got about half from the Agarthan network here on Earth, humans from the Agarthan network. These are quite spiritually evolved people with very advanced technologies as far as weapons, ships, etc. And great warriors, absolutely. So that's really good to see. Awesome, man. We reached critical mass on that very profound historic day, now that we're into Aquarius. And then the next day, Cobra posted this on Tuesday, December 22, 2020, Age of Aquarius final activation preliminary report. Like I say, Cobra's going to do a report within a week or two. Wants to get some more intel from some of the galactic light forces are able to actually get a really accurate ballpark figure of how many of us actually participated in the meditation. But they certainly, there's been enough feedback to know that, yeah, we definitely reached critical mass plus. So Cobra writes here, the critical mass has been reached. Full report will be posted in a week or two. Victory of the light. So that's awesome, man. So it begins, the great awakening of humanity. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so that's primo news. Definitely, that's primo news for all of us on the surface and the whole solar system and really the whole galaxy. That was an interesting mass meditation. I found I found what my personal experience from that one was in regards to just sort of thinking of the ones we've done throughout this year that have been very, very, we've been quite successful, not always reaching critical mass, but we had a really big one back. I believe it was in April where there was actually over 1 million of us. And that's pretty huge. Because that's what I'm figuring is these mass meditations on the Earth's surface will grow and grow and grow, including especially after the event when so much disclosure will happen and literally the planetary liberation. And more and more of us will see how effective that is to meditate together. As we know, there's, the science proves it. And I can see in the future, eventually, literally billions of us on the surface meditating at times as more and more to help the whole healing of this planet and all the creatures, including us humans, to more and more heal and open up our minds, all that kind of stuff, for all kinds of groovy reasons, and be able to communicate more and more with brothers and sisters in other star nations, etc. Remote viewing, all our psionics abilities. It'll help our psionics abilities expand and become more and more skillful in psionics. Our psionics abilities, like our clairvoyancy, telekinesis, remote viewing, telepathy, all kinds of groovy stuff like that. So yeah, it looks looking good, folks. We're really, it's really, at the same time, it's hit the fan here, obviously, on the surface. It looks like really now that especially we've reached, we've entered Aquarius officially, as far as the astronomy and astrology speaks to, with this December 21, 2020 conjunction of big Jupiter and big Saturn, 2 biggest planets in the solar system, and they're so different too, with a lot to say about Saturn, a lot to say about Jupiter, of course, as any planet and that. So amazing times. Of course, peoples all over the surface. We've been prophesizing about these times for thousands of years. And here we are. Okay, so good to see, and hats off to everybody who meditated and we reached the critical mass plus. That's there's undoubtedly that's helping us get an optimum timeline to be on here as we go into, and we are into, and now that we're into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. So excellent. And let's see the, oh, that's right. I wanted to speak on a little bit of SSP stuff. I'd like to post a link below this in the description box of a really excellent history going through of the secret space programs. It's about a 4-hour film. It's mostly James Rink and Johan Fritz speaking, and there's some other people involved there. I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with the other folks, but certainly this one, and a great slideshow. James Rink puts together this like primo slides about, you know, all sorts of information. And I just seen that recently. And what was cool, it was the first time I've seen something where it mentioned there was cats on Mars. That in fact there is some of the creatures on Mars include cats, you know, from the cat family, because that's one of the memories I've had not so long ago, just a couple of months ago, really. Yeah, it was, you know, basically 2 months ago, where I had a memory of cats, as I described it already, but it was basically about half the size of a leopard, of an average size adult leopard. It's about half the size of that. And but the thing was very impressive cat. It was very fast and very strong. You know, it was kind of like it was strong like the leopard and fast like the cheetah. And it was like muscular but slick, sleek looking muscular, not like bulky, you know, and stuff, eh? But and very, so, you know, it had everything going for it, and you could see it needed to. It needed to be very fast and strong and slick, and you're really good in stealth operations like cats can be, and as far as the way they hunt. And it, so my memory there showed me it hunted down an insectoid about 3 feet long, about 1.5 feet tall, about 1.5 to 2 feet wide. And eventually, as it snuck up on it, like cats do, of course, they're really, the stealth thing and all that. And then eventually, when it felt it was time, it started to accelerate and jumped right on top of the insectoid and quickly got its claws in to the top of the insectoid. So, you know, it wasn't going to get thrown off or something, because they get eaten too. Like, these insects are super strong. You can imagine an insect that large, how strong they are. And so get his hooks in and be really fast, and then down with his, like I was mentioning before, it must have at least one set of fangs, I'm guessing, although I didn't see the teeth. But this, I just seen the cat then dug right in to what would probably be the back of the neck of the insectoid. I could see where he was pinpointing, and that would neutralize the, when done quickly and effectively enough, neutralize that was the way this cat was effectively able to neutralize the insectoid. So the insectoid, and then, you know, because they make a living, including eating insectoids up there. But like I say, they got to be really good, man, because otherwise that insectoid, you can throw it off, and, you know, the insectoid at times gets the best of the cat. And that cat was kind of a medium to dark beige brown, and thin black stripes from head to the tail, like running that way, thin black stripes. Beautiful, magnificent, powerful, super fast little cat. Like I say, it was only about, you know, half the size of an adult average leopard here on Earth. But anyways, this history of a great run through on history by James Rink and Johan Fritz. I'll post a link below, like I say, where first time I've ever seen that mention, where cats on Mars kind of thing. It briefly mentions it on one of the also, I'd like to post below let's see here. Let's go to, I just want to go through. Here is let's see here. Oh, this one here. This one here. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. I just want to go through this one. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So I want to bring up that, oh yeah, Introduction to the Secret Space Program. Now here's just a little intro of it. I'm going to just play a little intro of this, this very excellent presentation by James Rink and Johan Fritz, and there's some other people involved here as well. But here's James Rink beginning it off, and like I say, he's got just a great slides and everything, going through quite a really good description and everything of the Secret Space Program.
On the chat, thank you, Derek. Thank you, Louise, Stefan, Patty. Great. So I've already given a quick introduction on myself. So Johan is also going to be joining us in this presentation. He's going to be sharing some of his experiences and his knowledge, background information about the Secret Space Program. Johan, how long were you in the SSP?
I did two 20-year periods in it, yeah.
Okay, so, but Johan, he has a lot more memories than I do and recall, so his information is extremely valuable to this disclosure community. And I also want to give a shout out to Jason Rice as well, because some of the information that used in his PowerPoint presentation was based on his research as well.
Tony Rodriguez.
Yeah, Tony Rodriguez. And then there are many other, I can go on and on. Alana, she's been super helpful with the medbed technology. I want to say thank you to her, and Penny Bradley as well for her service as well. But you know, we go on, and if I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't. I mean, you're still, your opinion is important. We're all of us, we're working together here on this research. So I just want to say thank you to all. So
excellent. So there's just a little the beginning of this great presentation by James Rink and Johan Fritz. Let's see here. So that one is, yeah, excellent. Okay, so yeah, I'll post that link below, like I say. And they mentioned, as you heard, they mentioned Jason Rice. Excellent, got like some just primo intel, has lots of memories. Amazing stuff. Jason Rice and Ileana, the Star Traveler. He mentioned Ileana, like he was mentioning, and she helped me big time with. I did I've just done one so far of like a hypno therapy kind of session with her, and she can literally read our memories. Like, she remembers a lot of things that I still don't remember about my service in the Secret Space Program. That the fact that I did 30 years and, you know, 10 of it was on Mars, 10 of it was on the moon, 20 was on Mars, that kind of thing. Because what happened, basically, in the last year, I started getting memories back. And then after about having 6 different memories, I go, yeah, you know, I kind of knew it after the first memory, and you feel it for years. But then after getting these memories, it's like, yeah, I worked in this, the SSP, that kind of thing. And so Ileana, the Star Traveler, and he mentioned Penny Bradley, a lot of awesome testimony. Anybody not familiar with some of those folks, if you'd like to hear more about the Secret Space Program, those veterans have, in a lot of cases, a lot of memories too, eh? And but more and more of us are getting our memories back, which is really cool. And there are records of all this. Eventually, there'll be records out. If any of us are bullshitting, whatever, you know, it's there's definitely documentation and records showing who's served in the SSP over the years. Absolutely. And it looks like a unit I work for, an outfit that, and a lot of us have worked for, including Johan Fritz, and I'm not sure if James Rink, I think he worked for him too. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. But Kruger Corporation. As you'll see, if anybody views that history of the Secret Space Program with James and Johan, there's an indication there that Kruger in particular will, once, you know, disclosure, whatever the time's right, they plan on releasing all the names of the veterans and everything. Eh? So that's cool. Because apparently, I also worked for Kruger in at least 10 years of my service there. And then you're always connected to them though. And Kruger is perhaps, you know, Kruger, they perhaps have the best fighting forces of all the Secret Space Programs. They're known to, you know, really get the job done, you know, and stuff, eh? And I've had some flash visions of one of the, I think it was Johan described on the moon, some of the offices of Kruger, and on the door, like they got a female and a male all in their exo combat suits and with weapons, and then there was some kind of logo saying, like, if you got any loose strings, call Kruger or whatever, that kind of thing. And I got flash memory. I had flash memories of that quite a while ago, actually, but I'm not really clear enough to really speak a lot on it. But so it helps. It helps to hear from various veterans. It helps to sort of trigger things, I'm finding. Anyway, so that's really cool. Check that out, folks, if you want to get probably the best rundown on the history of the secret space program that's available right now. Because there's massive disclosure thanks to these SSP veterans, including many of them that have a lot of memories, including Captain Randy Kramer. I'd just like to mention, I got my most recent memory. I was, hanging out with him on Mars and working with him. I've had a feeling of that for a long time. So that's my most recent memory, and that was the largest memory so far. It went on for a while. It wasn't just the other ones were much briefer. So that's good to see. It's more and more disclosure. There actually is so much disclosure out already. It's just not getting large platforms yet and stuff. But it'll become eventually, yeah, it'll all be disclosed responsibly, effectively, accurately, truthfully, with lots of proof. I'm sure we're going to get lots of high definition films and photos of Mars and other colonies, planets, the moon, etc., that we've expanded onto, right? It's only a matter of time. And we're even starting, like in recent times, we've got some more clear film and photos from Mars, a little bit of stuff anyways, eh? So we're on our way. And other than that, yeah, I just like to, hats off to all the Lightwarriors out there. And I was listening to and I'd like to post this link. I'd like to, there's a couple of gentlemen who are, we're actually in the Italian-American mafia. And I just like to, well, let's see here, this one. I'd just like to post, let's see, here it is, share that. I'd just like to post a link to one of their channels. And let's see, I think I've got it up here. Yeah, I just listened to this. This is a new interview with JOHN ALITE by Bobby LUISI. And these are a couple of gentlemen who worked for and served a long time in the Italian-American mafia. I mean, these are some seriously skilled.
Tonight, I'm Bobby LUISI. For those people that don't know who I am, I was a boss of Boston at one time, and a cop in the Philadelphia crime family in the Joy Molino. Tonight, I got a great guest here tonight. He came up from New York to do the show with us. A lot of people are going to know who he is, JOHN ALITE, a former hitman and enforcer for the Gambino crime family. This guy got a lot of great stories. A good man and a good friend. So I hope you enjoyed the show today, and stay tuned then. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Now, I hope they don't mind me playing a little bit of that. They'll let me know if there is. I just want to share that. And like I say, I'll put the link below to that, to Mr. LUISI's YouTube channel with that interview. Because I just listened to that last night, I think. And of course, these gentlemen are definitely very skilled warriors, and big hearts, big sets of stones. Obviously, they've been through so much. Obviously, these gentlemen, including a lot of heavy prison time. It's the violence and all kinds of stuff. But it's great to see. To me, there's a couple of great examples. These guys are Lightwarriors, man. You see there, and why I'd like. I hope some people watch this one is because the last minutes. Several minutes, Johnny and Bobby, Mr. LUISI, Mr. ALITE, they start to speak of, the election going on in America, because these guys are, these guys are true patriots of their country, man. Americans. That's what I love about the American brothers and sisters. I think they really show us all what real good, hardcore, true patriotism is, eh? You know, and it is a great country, and you know, it's the most powerful country on the Earth's surface, absolutely. And you know, when I was in the Canadian Navy, I loved hanging around U.S. Navy sailors, drinking and you know, having all kinds of time, eh? And you know, got a friggin' you know, almost got friggin' punched out by a few Marines one time, and when I was that was my doing. Oh, I'd just like to mention that, like, you see guys like that, these great warriors like that, who you know, can back up what they say, obviously. Eh? And but the thing is, man, you know, and I grew up and I know people, you know, that are were involved in things, and but you know, in large part, the ones that have really good minds, so to speak, and are you know, quite intelligent. You're respectful to those people, and if you're not doing any business with them, you know, you can just be they're your friend, eh? Like, you know, it's you know what I mean? Like, these are a lot of these folks are you know, if you're able to be friends with them, that's like some true friends, man. Especially if you don't do business, like I say. I grew up back east. Half my friends are like Sicilian Canadian, and didn't do a lot of business with them. We were friends, man. You know, we were just friends, having a good, you know, doing all kinds of stuff. Hey, sports, man, of course, lots of partying, and you know, you see, we can get the nicest girlfriend, you know, of the moment. And there was always, you know, lots of good competition, and but you know, this is it's great to have some real friends, eh? Including, I just want to say hats off to my close friends, half my friends back east who are Sicilian Canadians, eh? We grew up, the neighborhood in the city I grew up in, Ottawa, was just next to Little Italy and that too, eh? So anyways, yeah, check that out, folks, because great to see these light warriors speaking up about what's going on with this election and everything. Because any of us look into that, it's easy to see that Mr. Trump won in a landslide, man. You know, it's like, so, you know, and that's definitely a good thing, not just for the United States of America, the whole world. And I just want to say one more thing about the United States of America. As far as I'm figuring, that is the heart chakra. I know I mentioned it before. The heart chakra of the new Atlantis that's manifesting now, and especially now that we're into Aquarius, the new Atlantis is located in the United States of America. For some reason, I think it's in the Dakotas somewhere too, eh? The heart chakra? And that, eh? Because, you know, Mother Earth's a living being and has a chakra system just like we do and stuff in that, eh? That's, you know, so anyways, yeah, that's why it's so profound, and so much eyes and ears, etc., are on focusing on what's going on in the United States of America. And, you know, and it's because this cabal is being exposed there big time. And this cabal is an international and beyond group criminal operations, all sorts of levels of it. There's all sorts of non-human forces involved that, you know, hasn't gone too public, but is more and more that's coming out. The Draconians, the Chimera, etc. We won't get into too much esoteric today, I guess. So hats off to Mr. LUISI and Mr. Alite for, you know, really speaking up for their country. But this is helping the whole world, because, like I say, that's the heart of the new Atlantis, man. And that, eh? And same thing, like, we got to clear out Ottawa here. Ottawa, they're full of Ottawa here up in Canada. Ottawa's full of swamp monsters too. You know, Paris, London, Rome, you name it, eh? Berlin. All over the place, right? So exists, yeah. So this looks good that the Earth surface cabal is going down, man, and they got to go down, man, because you know, we're at that stage now. You know, the whole Georgia Guidestones things, they're really in a panic to try to make that happen, and you know, that's obviously you know, it's a massively heartless, illegal activities going on, to say the least, eh? So anyways, yeah, good stuff. And other than that, the meditation, yeah, it's really good. We hit critical mass and that, eh? Oh, I'd just like to, a little story about organized crime and respect, really. it's touching on respect. Here's what a story. I was on a drink fest back. This was back in the mid 1990s when I still used to drink. I had to quit drinking, and this was not long ago, 5 months before I checked into the Salvation Army, and I was all homeless and burnt, after 20 years of alcohol and other drug abuse, cocaine, that was the worst one. Yeah, the coke. Wow, the alcohol and coke, does that ever burn you out fast, eh? But anyways, so I was really more and more had become, especially the last couple of years in my drug addictions, more and more just reckless, more reckless than ever, more irresponsible, unemployable, just, work a little through the day labor camps to get some beer money and busk on the streets and stuff, to get some beer money, a little bit of grass money and stuff. And so anyways, yeah. And, it was violent periods as always, but I was getting to a point where I could see, it was almost like I was on a suicide run in a sense, not really, thinking, oh, I want to kill myself, but I was out, started messing with people I shouldn't be messing with, and really being disrespectful. See, that's the thing, eh? You're disrespectful, and what are you going to say? Or what am I going to say if, I get taken out? As I was disrespectful, I violated. So anyways, I really was going against what, my belief in. I want to at least maintain some respect. And if I'm going to go out, at least, I gave it my best, and I wasn't some asshole that, who got totally disrespectful with somebody for no reason or whatever. So what happened was, I'm drinking with my big brother. I think him as a big brother. I'm his dog brother, Vietnam veteran, 6'8", Métis, hardcore member, Métis Nation out of Saskatchewan, big Rolly. He's, I love the guy. He's, like I say, I was his dog brother. So we're drinking for a couple of days there. And then we go over to some of his friend's house. And I had not met his friend yet. Big, tall guy. Look, he seemed like a pretty nice guy. And the guy's brother was there. So we're there, we're sitting drinking. We're well drunk by then. We've been drinking all day and stuff. And so I say to to Rolly's friend's brother who was there, I say, hey, who's this effing fag, eh? And, usually I'm not like that, right? But I was, like I say, especially the last months before I went into rehab, I was getting, loopy, the cocaine psychosis, and not caring anymore about myself or anybody else. And so so I insulted the guy, right? There was no need to, eh? And so then that really pissed off his brother, of course. And I didn't know who his brother was, but then his brother goes, Rolly's friend, my friend too, big Rolly's friend, the Vietnam veteran, he goes to me, eventually goes to me, do you want to mess with me? I was the president of the Hells Angels. And I don't know what chapter, he didn't say what chapter or whatever, but this is on the West Coast. And like I say, this guy seemed like a nice guy, good, solid guy, warrior guy. And, but I was disrespectful, obviously. I was, I'd go into the guy's house, call his brother an effing faggot and all this, eh? And so he was thinking after that, and I knew once he said that, I knew, well, he's probably a good chance he's going to make a move, obviously, eh? Because that's really how it works often when you're, if you're just an independent operator, and you run up to somebody that's actually, hooked into organized crime like that, eh? It's, there's various things, dynamics going on. You never know, right? But anyways, so I kind of started to fake hyperventilating. I wasn't sure exactly what to do, but I was looking at Rolly, and I was trying to think what to do. I knew no use trying to leave, because then he's probably going to boom, and he's big. And then, but there's Rolly too. And I don't want to put Rolly in a position, because I'm his friend, I'm his little brother. But then this is his friend too, so I didn't want to put Rolly in a straight, do something that would be harmful to Rolly, and Rolly'd have to, choose or whatever, that kind of thing. So anyways, I started kind of faking hyperventilating while I'm looking at Rolly, because I want to think. And then eventually the guy goes, he decided, okay, yeah, you need to leave now, eh? So okay, and I was glad. I just said, okay. And then I start walking on. He says, just don't come back. He wasn't saying it even mean or something. Just don't come back. And I said, yeah, for sure, man. But I'm just saying, I just wanted to mention that because I was, you see, I violated there. So if he would have made a move and whatever happens, right? I was in violation. So, you know, and so like I say, because that guy was cool. That guy, otherwise it was cool. We were at his house drinking, having a good time, basically shooting the breeze about things, you know. And also I was putting my big friend, my big brother, in a position that might not have been cool. But interesting enough, it was one of those things, you know. Sometimes you're fortunate because right after I left, some other people came in, and one of the guys was all just friggin' he was in a bad way. One of these other guys, and Rolly got in a fight with him, my big brother, and got the best of him eventually. And then the next day, I see my friend in the bar, my big Métis friend, and we're drinking again. We're laughing and telling each other stories and on and on. You know, it's like, we're guzzling our beers and stuff. And then he starts telling me, he says, yeah, about that, what happened right after. He said, right after you left, man, the guy came in, he was all, and then they ended up getting into it. And Rolly had taken I guess it was a guy who had long hair, right? So Rolly had a sizable, pretty long length of hair, chunk of hair down, tied onto his leather, the mystical kind of guy, my big brother Rolly, real mystical kind of guy, highly decorated combat veteran of the Vietnam War. And so he had taken some hair. And so as it turns out, yeah, I was like, I was glad to be out of there at that time. Not, in a sense, because, you had no choice but to engage. And of course, after you've, drank 20 beers, it's harder to, maybe come out of a violent situation intact, right? So anyways, that was one of those things. I just wanted to mention that because I was in violation there, eh? So it was like I asked for it, and I was fortunate I didn't get harmed at all. And I put my friend in a nasty position potentially, and on and on and on. But anyways, so I want to mention that, folks. Hats off to all the light warriors out there, because light warriors of all sorts. And I just wanted to say also was to speak openly when we're ready, and open up our hearts, and we don't have to fear to speak our mind. Always, it's good to strive to be respectful to everybody, and all that, and because it's very therapeutic. Talk therapy, all that. I hope Mr. Elite doesn't mind me saying that I've been listening to Mr. Elite, because great teachings. These guys, you can learn stuff off these guys. These are brilliant guys and very and brilliant warriors. Wow, man, the stuff they went through, right? So this is like schools in, right? It's a gift that some of these warriors are speaking out like that, and giving testimonies, right, so much from the heart, and what they've went through and stuff. This is we got to get this stuff in the schools, and will absolutely, eh? Of a lot of these great testimonies, these great teachings from these great warriors around. But I just want to say, light warriors wear many hats, just like the dark warriors do, eh? And that, eh? And one more quick story about an example of that. A French Canadian guy by the name of, in Canada we know about this guy anyways. He's reasonably well known here in Canada, Roger Caron, who spent like 30 years mostly penitentiaries, even Penetang-Washeen, which is perhaps the worst one of the worst penitentiaries in Canada. They call it, a penitentiary for the criminally insane. Sometimes the judge just gets pissed off and sends a guy there. He's not necessarily insane, often. Eh? I know a couple of guys who did heavy time, and they both said, include Roger and this other guy I knew downtown for until he passed on, that all the incarceration times he did as well, about a good 30 years was as well in various mostly penitentiaries. He said Penetang-Washeen was the worst he had been in as well. You know, like strap you onto a gurney, start cranking you up with big pharma shite. You know, it's like, wow, man, you know, and shit. Eh? So that's the thing. Hey, you meet all kinds, and like that big Wayne downtown, the guy that was telling me he didn't speak too much about that stuff. It's not easy, you know, to be necessarily to speak about these very traumatic experiences a lot of people have had. But, you know, it's good to see more and more people opening up now, and because we can heal that way too. Hey, we can find ways to heal. We support each other, talk to each other in various capacities through this friggin' local ether world, the whole bit. But Wayne, big Wayne downtown, and until he passed on several years ago now, people wouldn't even, most people down there didn't know like where his background. And I knew, like, there's another guy, Wayne, this guy, big friggin', you know, half native guy, half, you know, European guy, sergeant in the army. That's what he told me. And I knew he was telling the truth, because I know, but no one really, he never really said that to anybody hardly, eh? You know what I mean? There's hardly any of the people that knew him would even know that. But I knew he was a sergeant in the army, and he was, you know, half Mohawk and stuff. And he told me a little bit about his prison stuff, eh? And like I say, that I knew he is a military veteran, that guy, because he was always really well turned out. You know, like a lot of veterans, it's not just the veterans, but you learn how to sort of dress, at least to tidily and, you know, well turned out, as one of my buddies says it. One of my army, well, he was Navy and Army, this guy, a good friend of mine. So Wayne was like that. So Wayne came off as a military veteran that way too, just the way he, you know, he stood, the way he walked, the way he dressed, eh? And he, poor guy for sure. Like I'm talking, because down in Recovery downtown there, that's the poorest neighborhood in Canada, down in the downtown east side, Vancouver. But you know, I met some of the most powerful and most intelligent Canadians there are right there, and to this day, that's, you know, made some good brothers, good friends, acquaintances, including a lot of my got to be good friends with some Native Americans, like my carver right here. There's an excellent friend of mine, known him for 25 years now. Here's some of his carvings here. Got a bunch of his carvings. He's just like. That's another thing. Just one more thing I'd like to say about art and creativeness. And I see my friend came over the other day. I hadn't seen him for quite a while. Eh? And Brian came over. He's like 69 years old now. Been carving for like friggin' 40 years at least. He didn't start real young, but he started, 40, 45 years carving. And he's got a lot. He's always carving. He's got some groovy stuff now. I'll get some cash together. I want to get a couple more pieces. But it's like art, our creative minds is infinite. And I see that in my friend, Brian, who just continues to come up with new designs of wolves and bears and orcas and halibuts, like fish, various fish, and eagles, of course, and crows and ravens, all kinds of stuff. It's like infinite. You can see it. I could see it in my friend. He just keeps coming up with this just amazing designs, arts, you know, various takes on what a wolf is, you know, like back here. I guess probably can't see this very good. This camera's not very good, but there's a couple of wolf takes. Like he's done so many just on wolves, say. So anyways, yeah, it's infinite. We are beings of infinite consciousness, man. Infinite possibilities, man. And just, one more thing. Just remember, man, the human mind is an 11th dimensional operating system, man. And so that's super powerful. Oh, I forgot to mention though, what I wanted to mention today was about, since December 21, 2012, now that we're into Aquarius, some good intel speaks to the fact that our primary implants now, we're at the point now, our primary implants are dissolving. I'm almost positive we're going to see, you know, this can be a painful experience for us at times as we purge more and more dark energies from our bodies, our physical, emotional, mental, etheric, local etheric bodies. You know, the aura, right? That's our etheric body, or the local one where we call the aura. And so as that continues to we can more and more purge heavier energies from us and get literally lighter in ways. and be able to open up to our mind's eye and our chakra system and our higher self, all that stuff, eh? And so the primary anomalies looks good that we're going to start to, they're going to actually start to be able to be dissolved from us. And that's huge, man. We're going to become like cosmic grade humans again. That's a massive thing right there, because like say, I'll mention two of them. There's three main primary anomalies that everybody incarnates here has in them. And then there's other implants too, like, actual physical ones and stuff, but these are on the etheric realm. These are non-physical implants. And one of them is, and you can see it in society, it's been so destructive on our society in so many ways, manipulation of teachings, basic science, basic spiritual teachings. One of the primary implants is affects our males and females differently. What it is basically, you can see lots of examples of this, because sexual energy is super powerful when love, so much, the more sort of real, authentic love goes on. When, doing the wild thing, a man and a woman doing the wild thing or whatever, it gets so powerful, right? Especially when twin flames once in a while are able to get together on Earth. That's a hard thing to do, get together with our twin flame. The dark forces manipulate that and really do a lot so we don't get together with our twin flame. But sometimes it happens, and that's super powerful, eh? When twin flames get together in the physical plane here, and actually are get whatever. Not, I shouldn't say married, but just, that idea, eh? What we call married, and become lovers and have children, all that stuff, eh? So the thing is that one primary implant, the sex implant, and it tends to us males, especially when we're younger and stuff, is that the primary implant, it's sort of like gets us to think love is sex. Love is sex, right? And love can be sex, but not necessarily, like sex can be, whereas the females are more, this primary implant tends to affect the females of us to like sex is love. So, what I mean? Like sometimes, especially when we're young, say us young men, we really, would like to, go have an experience with, some beautiful young woman. We might be, dating and seeing, and then sometimes they go, like, because to them it's like sex. Oh no, I can't have sex because that's love, Whereas, and then we might be programmed a bit that way. This is this implant, eh? This is what part of the negative effects on our whole civilization in various ways, for sure, And whereas as a young man, especially, we're going to say, sex is love, yeah, sex. Come on, man, we love each other, And so it manipulates that and distorts it, and it's false teachings or whatever. Like, so what it does. See, the archons know how powerful sexual intercourse can be, especially, like I say, when the partners come as a union together in the more and more real, true, authentic love for each other. It's very powerful, right? It's, and so they try to more and more distort that. And you see that in recent years here. Look at what they're trying to put in more and more in our schools, our elementary schools, this perverted, sick, literally from the Satanist pseudo so-called sex education, like it's just you can see these filthy ones, they're showing their face, so anyways, we'll get rid of all that garbage and get some real teachings in the school, start teaching our people psionics from kindergarten on, and get teachings like a lot of these folks that have been through so much, including people who have been involved in groups, organized crime, etc., militaries. Yeah, I got to say about Mr. Elite and Mr. LUISI, say they're very respectful of military veterans. For real. You can tell it's for real. You know what I mean? Absolutely. That's, what I mean? It's not like, on November 11th, these chicken hawk politicians out, often, I'm not saying they're all inauthentic, but often they're really laughing at us. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces and a veteran of the secret space program for 30 years. And, so yeah, exactly. But most of us, we do respect the veterans. I certainly respect the veterans, and stuff. and appreciate being friends with some of them, some of the guys I worked with in the Canadian Navy in this case, and starting to hook up with some of the secret space program veterans now too, which is really cool. So anyways, hats off to everybody. And the about the Lightwarriors. Yeah. You see, to me, here's a good example of Lightwarriors meeting. There's a little story. It's online. There's a little film on YouTube of Roger Caron. Pretty brief film, but it goes through a little bit of him. And he said, like, Roger Caron was definitely escaped from prison, certainly a few times. And he attempted escapes lots. And he was, like I say, quite successful at it, probably 4 or 5 times at least, something like that, various institutions. So one time in Kingston Penitentiary, he climbed over the friggin' wall, I think he was saying, or something like he was out in the court. He was almost escaped that time, but they did see him, I guess, at the guards on the towers and stuff, eh? And then the lights came on and the rifles on him and stuff. And so, he didn't escape. And then the warden came and talked to him eventually. And the warden happened to be a Second World War veteran, the warden of Kingston Penitentiary at that time. He was a Second World War veteran, and he had been in a prisoner of war camp. I believe it was in Hong Kong, that area. Like some of the Canadians definitely spent time in the Second World War area were prisoners in Hong Kong. I think it was there. I'm not positive though. But anyways, the warden was really cool, obviously, because Roger, as he said it was, the warden said to Roger, he says, the warden says to Roger Caron, the guy wrote a great book called Go Boy 2, by the way. That's a great book to read for any of us if we want to get an idea what's it like in some of these Canadian prison institutions. And they've just sort of got worse over the years as, they made them more isolation and, and that's really, isolation, man. That'll do some weird things to any of us, eh? But the warden said to Roger Caron, he says, because Roger was like doing 30 years or something, like he had a pretty big sentence going on there or whatever. He says, the warden said to Roger after he had tried to escape and got captured, he says, if I was doing 30 years, I'd escape too, man. I was in a prisoner of war camp in the Second World War. So the warden was really cool. See, the warden, there it is. Why I mentioned that. The warden, not that I don't know who he was. He didn't mention his name. We could find out though. He's a light warrior, the warden, and then the inmate's a light warrior. They're having a moment. See, the warden's not this square-headed guy. Yeah, you better not escape anymore. He's just seeing it for what it is because he was there, man. He was in a prisoner of war camp. He's a war veteran. He's been around some. Hey, survived the war and he's back home. Did well. Became a friggin' warden of one of the big penitentiaries in Canada. And so he was cool to Roger, right? So like I say, light warriors wear many hats. In that case, the inmate, Roger Caron, light warrior, and the warden, light warrior. They had a moment together. They respected each other. They shared with each other, right? Stuff. So anyways, folks, hats off, and let's keep doing whatever we can to help with disclosure and help our people so that hopefully we can stop this insanity this criminal insanity going on by the cabal, and hopefully the sooner the better the Earth surface cabal is taken down. I think perhaps it's not unreasonable to say that right now the Delta option is being implemented. Now, if anybody's not familiar with the Delta option, that is the light forces have a what they're calling the Delta option, and that is a complete takedown of the Earth surface cabal before the compression breakthrough, before full planetary liberation, right? The compression breakthrough where the light forces from above and below meet on the surface. That's one way of describing it is compression breakthrough. And so I think there's a reasonable chance right now is the beginnings of the Delta option is being played. I don't know that, but we're gonna, as the whole public, if it is, we're gonna all know real soon. There's a lot of chatter and stuff in the air that's leaning towards that, right? Including from some of the military white hats speaking Particularly, it's great to see the military white hats starting to take the stage more, like General Flynn, General McKinney, etc. And up here in Canada, we'll, the military white hats are going to make themselves more present soon too. They're working together. It's a multinational force, positive force going on. Really, the United States military spearheading it in a sense, and you know they got the big, friggin' powerful military of the world. That's the world military of the world is the American Armed Forces. And now, the good thing is we're going to take over light forces, and the American Armed Forces and all the our armed forces will less and less be exploited by the dark forces, in all these illegal wars that are happening, all the pain and suffering, death and destruction of the peoples of the world, including, of course, the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and all the civilians and the children. You know, like it's just on and on. So looks good. Let's keep going, man. We can really do this. And just great to see people speaking out, speaking from their hearts, including these really powerful light warriors. On and on, Okay, folks. Namaste and Victoire de la Lumière. Namaste, tous des soldats de la lumière, Bravo. À bientôt, j'espère, mes amis.